It's Pro Group Racing, Daggy and Beaver with you for a midweek preview at Warwick Farm and Sandown. On the table today, Beaver, how's the weekend?
Yeah, I think the weekend was pretty good. Some quality racing there, Daggy. Some emergence of some real top quality horses, and probably a question mark over a few shorties that looked to be good bets that just didn't quite stack up.
Well, it's sort of been a bit of a theme the last couple of weeks now that we're seeing maybe either new form or fresh form or in most cases probably just back to dry form, making a difference, which is good and interesting.
Yeah, if you go back to Sydney, Frumos, pretty disappointing, had every chance, probably a question mark over it. Just trying to think what else we had there later in the day that looked to be good bets.
Well, Fire ultimately,
Fire?
Maybe it's just a good midweek horse. He had to win on the Saturday, I think.
Yeah, it had every chance and couldn't go past the pretty average field there. So that was it. Investor Bordeaux was really disappointing. So three short price favourites there. Moving into Melbourne, the New Zealander that came over was pretty impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. I wish I win. I'd
well
followed
down,
a bit.
backed off the map.
Yeah, well, yeah, they knew, but I'd followed it through its first prep, being a Waikato stud horse, and didn't think it was up to that stud. But if we see Imperatriz over here, Imperatriz has owned it a few times over there. If it heads over, it might be a horse to follow. And Snapdancer was good. Something to be said for finding those on pace 1400 metre horses in these Group 1s early in spring. They're gold if you can find the right one.
I think we got last year, and I think we got the Nella there because we got the Nella there between us, and and Jacquino was pretty good.
Very
flew
good,
back, very good. Sat a bit closer than expected. Cabin was still good in defeat, but the other thing was just showed it was a quality horse.
I wouldn't drop off Cab because, like I said in the preview, I think it's heading to a mile, and I think it was more of a tick over, and back up in distance will suit next time. So some good racing, and there's more to come this weekend, which we'll look at. But we'll anything else you want to follow, or get on to?
No, that was about it, mate.
Warwick Farm, beautiful, where the rail is in the 3 metre mark. Currently it's off 6, but a nice day in Sydney today. So I'm hoping it should dry at Norm, play pretty well. We kick off with a 1400 metre maiden for the 3-year-olds, which looks a good race here, Beaver. I'm going to stick with Scientist, who was well backed on debut, sat outside lead there and did it a bit tough. Still held on okay. I think gets with, especially after scratching, gets a nice run and control here. And I think a step up in distance suits. It'll run well again. Beautiful Heart, the drier the better. I've got a feeling for will run well. And I think Redina, who's debuting for the Waller stable, may have something. One of the trials was quite nice, and then the second was a bit interesting. But I think they can all run well. But I'm going to back up with Scientist here. I think it might be a nice way to start off. What have you made of this? You're on mute.
I'm going to go similar thinking to you here. I think Scientist looks hard to beat. It's got the wide gate, but I think that means it has to hunt across and take up a position, either in the lead or outside the lead. I think it was beaten by a couple of good horses. Last start, I thought Northern Beaches was pretty good, had the right run in the race. I think it's still improve and might be just slightly too good for these. And the rest of the field's pretty open, plenty of chances, so I wouldn't turn you off anything. It's always hard to break up and find the right Waller horse here.
Yeah, fair call. The second is the girls' benchmark 72 over 1,300 metres. Now, what are you doing here?
Yeah, it's a few in the market here. Hard to split Twilight Affair and Roots. I went for Twilight Affair just on the basis that it has the fitness edge, and I thought it was pretty good up front last start. Yeah. So Twilight Affair on top for me.
Yeah, same. I'm sticking solid. Was keen on it last time. I know it was Canterbury, but it was a nice win and gets the same setup here. There's not a heap of pace around it. The Newnham horse will roll forward as well, but I think this gets should get a nice spot and just have a big enough start on Roots, who has trolled okay. J Mac and will run well, but sticking solid there with the Waterhouse team in the first couple. The staying contest, the benchmark 72 is the third, where again I'm going to stick with Boyszee, who won well enough just at Kenzo, comes here, and I think this is a pretty ordinary field away from it. So, as the market suggests, I'm going to stick. I'm not even going to really talk about anything else here. J-Mac, Mar and Eustace, even money in a staying race. Yeah, that'll do me. What have you done?
Yeah, it's a bit the same as you. I thought the price was as skinny as you want, but when you look at the competition, it's only lightly raced, Boyszee, and it was pretty good last start. And you know it's going to run this out. It was over, probably didn't run the 3600 out that well, but prior to that was pretty competitive in a whole lot of races in the market, in all of them. Probably got the form edge on these.
The fourth is a benchmark 72 over the mile. What have you done?
Yeah, didn't like this race much at all, to be brutally honest. I thought it was a bit of a tricky race, and you could back anything in here with comfort. I didn't want to tip Green Flash. I'm just not sure that it finds the line. So that had me a little bit concerned, but a lot of these don't win all that often. I probably just went for a bit of value. Just went for Flying Witness around the each way odds. Thought it could run well with a bit more improvement from its first up run, but I wasn't really keen on anything here.
I'm sort of on the same thought line. I'm going to back Tuhinga, $17. 2 starts back, one was slow out at Kenzo last start, and then just sort of cluttered up, over raced a bit, and then held on okay through the line. Gets Bowman at an inside gate, so I'm hoping goes forward again here, all things being equal. And as I said, around a $17 mark, I'm happy to have one more go at it. And then I've sort of left with Green Flash second. J-Mac will be back, but does need a win and isn't a horse I'm overly fond of. The rest of the race doesn't interest me that much. So, yeah.
Yeah, you always got to watch when Waller's got the two outsiders in the field and the favourite.
Yeah, especially anywhere further than a mile. Speaking of Chris Waller, I'm backing up again with him. Race 5, it's 1200 metre benchmark 64. I really liked the debut of Eponymous, who I think we both found back then in what I thought was a decent race. Sat wide and was just too strong for them. Comes back to a benchmark 64. I think it's a nice resuming point here. Dylan Gibbons gets a claim. And again, you get an each way price for what I think is a talented horse. Happy to be with it from, especially where the rest falls away to provincial grade, from the blue colours coming up from down south. Atmosphere and Shah of Goma was okay last time. Did beat home the Scientist in that race. But happy to play with the top weight here, Beaver.
Yeah, I did the same. I found Eponymous as well. I like the fact that it's got the 3 kilo claim here. It's resuming, and its first up win was pretty good. Won well first up at Warwick, then was put out for a few months and brought back here, and that wasn't the worst field in the world that it won there. So I was quite impressed with that win. So I'm willing to back up again. Again, Waller's got a lot of runners in this race, but I thought the main danger maybe Cinderella Days on the same basis. Was good first up and put out and brought back here. And I think you could run well.
Yeah, good call. Race 6, another 72 over the 1,000 metres. We've got Nasturtium resuming. Is that the way you're looking? And you just need your speaker on again.
Yep. Yeah, that's the way I was looking. Pretty good first 3 runs. Was well found in the market in all of them, and was never in doubt of them. Came to Rose Hill and led them up in a race won by Marzu, carrying 58.5. So that's not the worst form in the world. Then trialled well back here. Gets again the claim from Gibbons, so gets in okay weights. Drawn well in the 1. I think it can lead and win.
I've got it on top. I agree everything you've said there, but don't sleep on Airbar here. It hung out at Caulfield, as I spoke about last week, hung out around the bend. I think fitness gave out a little bit there too. It can come back, and if it's right and at its best, it can blow this field away. So I'll be saving on it. I think the other 2, I think that's the race covered well and truly there. We wrap up with the 1,300 metre 72. where I'm going to stick again with the lightly raced horse. We think about it, comes here after 2 nice wins. Both look quite stylish, and I think this is a perfect step up in grade to midweek company for it. I like seeing Roy Hutchings back in town too. It's on top from Paper Warrior, who meets the weakest field it's met in forever. J Mac and a nice stalking spot here. And yeah, Capo Strata resuming obviously a chance. What have you done?
Yeah, I've gone to think about it as well. I think it's a progressive horse. Really like its first 2 wins. Won a maiden quite comfortably at Kembla and then stepped into a Class 1 and won that. Horses don't do that often, go from maiden to Class 1 and win, but it won and won easy. Beat Flying Witness, which I have tipped earlier. Really liked that win. So around the 1300 suits, I think it's clear on top here. If you're looking for a bit of value in the last, to couple it up with the resuming Neutron from Queensland. It's got a little bit of ability and could run well at double figure odds. Interesting they brought it here.
Beauty. What's your best in value for Pro Group Racing?
Yeah, I've settled on race 7, number 12, Think About It as my best bets. And my value bet is race 4, number 9, Flying Witness, around the $7 mark.
Beautiful. I'm with Boyszee as the best through complete lack of opposition. I think the scientists run well in the first as well, and value the 2 Waller runners I suggested. Eponymous at $7 is, I think, over the odds, and Tuhinga at $17 definitely. So 2 I'm keen to play there at value at Warwick Farm. We head down to the Lakeside Sandown track with the rail and 9 metre mark, heavy track after rain yesterday again. It's knocked about the meeting with scratching, so we'll have a quick run through some of these. I feel my chances are out, so I wasn't left with a bet in some of these. But we kick off with a 1200 metre maiden for the 3-year-olds. With what's left, is there anything that took your fancy?
No, not a lot here. Not a lot here, Daggy. One of my best bets of the day's gone out. Was on by here. I thought it'd win.
Yeah.
I thought the first race would be fought out by Ferrari Man and Redneck Rum. I've probably just got the Oliver ridden Redneck Rum on top. If you're having a bet.
Yeah, fair enough. I didn't get
Pretty
stuck
tricky.
in the race beyond the
Probably
first starters.
Watch a couple of earlies just to see how the track
Yeah,
plays.
I agree. I agree with what you said about Waltz on by. I assume we might see it on Saturday. Race 2, 1400 metre for the Phillies. Another maiden here. What have I done is, well, Scrap Moco is another one that's come out. So again, was left just watching this one.
Same. My horses have come out here and I just couldn't find anything left. I think it's a pretty open race.
Yeah. 1400 metre class 1 is third. Where I am going to, well, I think there's 2 chances in this race. That Dream of Venus was wide, nice debut, rolled along on pace for the Moody stable, who is going very well at the moment. It is one of the chances, and I really liked what Don Diego did in the first prep. Gate 2 might just get a nice stalking roll, just sort of seeing how the track's playing at first. So I think the other 2 chances, the market agrees. So I'm not really solving too much there, but I'm going to stick with Peter Moody, the lightly race one there that he's left it under wet. I assume must handle it okay. What have you made of this?
And I've gone for the other one of the 3. I've gone for Blowing.
Okay.
I think it's got 3 runs under its belt and was really impressive last start at Geelong. Won easily. Thought that was a good win. Well found in that, and its run prior to that, it finished 3rd at Sandown in heavy going behind El Rocco. And that's the day El Rocco won very comfortably. I think El Rocco would win this fairly comfortably. Craig Williams aboard. I think this can run really well.
Beauty. Race 4, the mile 78, where better the days here. Cyclone Sally. Couldn't believe the price last night. Price is still good this morning. Complete wet tracker, gets a bog track, gets control, gets a claim, and beat a good Saturday horse last time in Lakeen. Before that, chased Spanish Tides, who won on a weekend. Just ticks every box here for me, and I'm going to be ticking the place bet box this afternoon. So my best on the card, Cyclone Sally, Beaver.
When you said place bet box, you mean you're going to back it, not back at a place?
Yeah, place the win bet. Go there. Yeah.
Good. I thought I'd better clarify that. I've got Cyclone Sally on top as well for all the same reasons. I think it jump and runs here. It's flying at the moment. The heavier the track, the better for it, and it's going to be really hard to run down. If there is anything that's suiting the upfronters, that'll only make its chances enhance. Main danger, Sione from the Paddy Payne stable, third up, going okay. Can run well, but probably a little bit untried on the heavy.
Lovely. Yeah, and it is a complete heavy here, just looking at this now. The mile benchmark 70. Any thoughts?
Oh, no, it was, this was a really tricky race. I thought the Barman was pretty honest last start. Ran a really nice second at this track behind Hanadi. Only just got beat and run down on the line. Looks to handle the softer tracks okay. It could be set up to run well at okay odds.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like the race. Naboo Star I've got on top, particularly the price it was last night. They got a long way back and hit the line really well. 1400 meter Australian debut comes to a mile, which I think will suit. Still outside gate, so I assume it's going to be a long way back. So we'll just watch how the track's playing, but may just have a bit of talent. So again, at an each way price, going to play with Naboo Star for the Hayes team. The staying race, 2400 meter benchmark 70 is next on the program. Where I thought I was clever in fighting Galoitis, but it's come up as favourite. It's on top for me, and I'm going to
actually not favourite, mate. Actually not favourite.
Oh, is it? It was last night.
Oh. Second favourite.
Okay. Cool. What price is it? Oh yeah, 350. Well, the two.
Yeah.
The market's got the two stapled out there, but yeah, going with Galoitis coming to town here. What have you made of this one?
Yeah, I've gone Galoitis as well. 6 starts on the heavy for 3 wins and 3 placings. Loves it. Chews it up. Really good win last start. Again, jumped to the front. Gave nothing else a chance. Prior to that has been pretty competitive in everything it's raced in. I think it can run extremely well again in this. Some of the others not so sure about in the going. I thought Hopkins was pretty honest last start at Sandown.
Just been up since Christmas is my concern there.
Yeah, and it was beaten by a fairly long way. So, yeah, I really like this. I think this is going to be super hard to beat.
Perfect. The 7th, benchmark 70 over the 1400 meters. 2 chances again. I couldn't believe the price was cooled last night. Maybe I should have taken it. But it's now 440. Absolute. Gets through the swims as well. Was good last time. Claim here and will run well. Again, from Daytona Bay for the Moody team. Lightly raced. Did beat Jimmy the Bear last time. So form speaks for itself. Inside gate will go forward with a claim. I think they're the 2, and they're the only 2 I want to look at. Galleon, who's the other one in the market. When you get beaten by Saber Princess, you can leave me out of it. So that Jimmy the Bear form does sort of jump out in this race.
Clear on top for me, Daytona Bay. Thought it was outstanding last start. Really looked like it was going to be win a long way out and beat Jimmy the Bear. Jimmy the Bear is flying at the moment. Ran another good race on the weekend. I think the only thing that beat it was, again, it had to take the field up, and 1700 is probably just a bit too far for it. 1600's about its go.
It did do a lot of work as well, but yeah.
Yeah, it was the sitting shot.
Very brave.
It was very brave and has been every run this preparation. Hasn't finished out. Well, that was finished 3rd, but out of the placings. Daytona Bay clear on top here. It's just better than these.
And race 8 is a benchmark 70 with half the field out. I'm left with Invincible Jet on top. We'll roll forward and hopefully put a bit of a gap in them early and make it very hard for anything to run down. We've seen form come out. It took Lady of Honor out of its comfort town last time, and we've seen it come out and win. And I think the winner of that race, Iron Benet, is a nice horse. Before that was good at Moonee Valley. So I think this is its race with all the other pressure coming out. And I think it's a good way to finish off the day here. I'm going to, in fact, make it one of my best. Oh, yeah, you better do your tips first though, Beaver.
Yeah, I thought the same. probably just the setup of this race makes it perfect for this horse. It's going to go to the front. It's probably not going to have a lot of pressure. And I Am Ben A is a really good horse in the making there. So I think it's going to be hard to beat. It gets control here. So I think you're going to get a good sight here in the last. It's going to be in front with the 150, 100 to go. Main danger, Magical Land. Bit of a unknown quantity here, having raced in Great Britain, then Dubai, comes here, and some of that form's pretty good. Only had the one trial, and I thought it was okay. Just maybe wanting a little bit further than 1200, might be looking more for the mile. So we're keen to see how it goes and how it handles a really heavy track, probably not having had much experience on it.
Yeah, that's fair. Your best in value then?
My best bet is race 7, number 2, Daytona Bay. Got it on top. And my value bet is race 5, number 5, is the Barman.
I make my best Cyclone Sally. And I struggled I thought Cooled was value last night. Now it's closer in the market. I'm swinging, Daytona Bay's the obvious there. I think it's not a bad betting card. So let's link up Cyclone Sally, Daytona Bay, and Invincible Jet through the afternoon. On what I think, track's tricky, but we'll call that a value play. What do you got in Queensland?
Yeah, got a few in Queensland for us up at Ipswich on a soft going. Pretty keen on race 3, number 6, Maladuni. I think it'll be hard to beat. And then later in the day, had a couple of others that I thought could run well. Race 6, number 3, Rich Lister, around the $354 mark. I think it can run really well. And I then had one in the last race, 7, number 1, Nishikori.
Lovely. Good job, Beaver. We'll be back Thursday night to look at some more good spring racing on Saturday. Take care, punters. Good luck this afternoon, and we will see you then.